Jalen Brunson just reminded why he is him. All of that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel. Let's get right into today's video. So the Knicks just finished pummeling the Detroit Pistons by the score of 128-98, and Jalen Brunson finished the game with 36 points, 14 of 22 from the field, 6 of 8 from three-point line, converting 2 of his 4 free throws. After Wednesday's game against the Miami Heat, where he was 6 of 18 from the field and 3 of 7 from three-point line, this is a wonderful, wonderful sign for Jalen Brunson. I mean, of course, we got to chill out because it's the Detroit Pistons. Side note, the Detroit Pistons are an abomination to basketball. I don't know. Their record is 1-5 now after this loss tonight. I don't know what team they beat, but whatever team lost to the Detroit Pistons, they should be embarrassed because I don't know what the hell I saw from them. Like, they just had no life. The turnovers that they were committing were just what was going on. They're coached by Bernie Bickerstaff. I think he was the coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers last year. I don't know how he still has a job, but my God, the Detroit Pistons. I don't know. I don't know what kind of future you guys have. I don't know when you guys are going to be contending. But going back to the Knicks, man, Jalen Brunson definitely stood out. Not even just Jalen, like the whole team just looked like they were vibing. Like as soon as the ball was thrown up in the air, the energy I got, because they were hitting all their shots. Everybody from the floor just had that touch. Clyde said that during the telecast. It just seemed like everybody they were already in rhythm. Like Karl-Anthony Towns finished the game with 21, 8 of 18 from the field, 3 of 6 from three-point line, 50%. OG Anunoby, 8 of 15 from the field, 3 of 5 from three-point line, ended with 21 points. Mikal Bridges ended with 15 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 3 of 6, 50% from three-point line. Mikal Bridges looks like his shot is back. It looks like that hitch is completely gone, which I still don't know what the hell happened. Just your shot was already weird, and then you were looking to add a hit. You added a hitch to it. I don't understand, but Mikal shooting woes, it seems like it's not there anymore. So that's definitely a positive sign to look for. Josh Hart ended the game with 13 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point line. Ended the game with 9 rebounds. Josh Hart, like, he might be the best rebounding guard I've ever seen in my lifetime. But again, it's the Detroit Pistons. Of course, I love that the Knicks got the win. But something else that I noticed throughout this game. So if you guys caught the live that I did prior to this game, one of the topics was Ariel Hukporti and Jericho Sims. And what I specifically said about them two was whenever when I was playing, when I got into the game, whenever I touched the ball, I don't care if it was a play that my coach called, I don't care if it was a secondary running down the floor. Whenever I touch the ball, I'm looking at the rim. And Jericho Sims and Ariel Hukporti, time and time again, I've seen them get the ball at the top of the key, and then they do a dribble handoff with one of the guards, and then they roll to the basket, and they're pretty much just looking to rebound. They're looking to finishing hustle plays, and they never really take that initiative to like try and score. Tonight, Jericho Sims, what he ended the game with? He ended the game with looking at the rebounds, because points we don't really look at that. He ended the game with 6 rebounds. Offensively, it was 3, and defense was 3. Ariel Hukporti had a turnover and played 5 minutes. Those are his stats for the game. So Ariel Hukporti definitely didn't do anything. But all of that to say, there were times in this game, man, where like Jericho Sims, they just weren't looking for him. And I don't know if it's because his teammates kind of know that like he doesn't really look to score. And literally the only opportunities that he has to score is off an alley-oop. But in tonight's game, I saw like a couple, not even a couple, I saw more than a couple times where Jericho Sims was right there for the lob, and they just did not, it looked like they didn't even consider throwing the lob up. And I don't know, man. Like, I get it. Jericho Sims, he is what he is at this point. You're not really looking for him for any offense at all. But like, yo, give the guy a break, man. Like, throw him a bone. Just throw the alley oop up there. And on top of that, like, the game was over by the time the first quarter was done. So just like, I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're not really doing anything to put yourself in a better position. And it looks straight up like the Knicks knew that this game was going to be a blowout. They knew it should have been a blowout. They got to Detroit. They knew what the task was at hand, and they just wanted to end the game as early as possible and look for towards Monday against Houston. But going back to Jalen Brunson, this was definitely a welcome sign for Jalen Brunson, just getting his stroke back, because like I said earlier, on Wednesday against the Miami Heat, Jalen Brunson ended the game with 22 points, but it wasn't his like typical Jalen Brunson game. You didn't really feel Jalen Brunson's impact. 3 of 7 from 3-point line, 43%. 6 of 18 from the field, 33.3%. And I remember last season, the first 2 weeks of the season, when Julius Randle, RIP, was was still with the Knicks. I remember the first 2 weeks, Chris and I, we were covering the post games, and Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, like they were struggling. They were just struggling with their shot. And then after the first 2 weeks, it seemed like they settled down into the type of season that they were going to have. So maybe that's what's going on with Brunson. Maybe it just takes him a little bit of time just to warm up and just to settle into the type of statistical season that he's going to have, if you will. But again, this is a welcome sign. The Knicks taking care of business of a team that they absolutely should have taken care of. And for one of, if not my last point, Deuce. Deuce McBride ended the game with 10 points, 4 of 12 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3-point line, finishing the game with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Listen, man, Deuce is going to be a very important piece coming down the stretch. If this is going to be the team that we have, I mean, Mitchell Robinson is going to come back next year, so January or February. But if this is the team that we're going to have, and Mitchell Robinson is going to be the only addition to the team, Deuce is going to be a very, very integral part of this team, because right now that bench is looking suspect. And tonight everything's looking all good because we were going against the Detroit Pistons. But other than Deuce McBride, the rotational bench players, it was Cam Payne and Jericho Sims. And I just went on a rant about Jericho Sims. Cam Payne ended the game with 4 points, 2 of 6 from the field. He did not hit any of his 2 3-point shots, ended the game with 3 assists and 1 rebound. Again, we didn't really need much from much of the bench players this game, because we're going up against Detroit. But I'm always looking towards the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is playoffs. So we'll see what happens. But Deuce continuing his aggressive play, continuing to look like his confidence has just risen to a whole nother level. I love to see that from Deuce. Monday, when we play the Houston Rockets, I'm not looking for anything different. I'm still looking for Jalen Brunson to prove to us why he is him, why he's the best player on the team. I'm still looking for Mikal Bridges to prove everybody wrong regarding everybody writing him off with that weird looking shot. I'm looking for him to write everybody off and be like, you guys were stupid for going against me. I'm looking for OG Anunoby to pick up his defensive play, even though he's been an absolute monster, an absolute beast on the defensive end. Karl Anthony Towns, I'm looking for you to keep playing the way you've been playing. I should mention that I did mention his stats earlier when I talked about his line, but the one thing that I didn't really point out was that he took six 3-pointers. And on Wednesday against the Miami Heat, he took 8. And I'm going to keep saying this. I think if it's anywhere from like 5 to 8, maybe 9, I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. Closer to the 5 to 8 range. But when we see KAT mixing it up with baby hooks with his right hand, left hand, when he's not just putting his head down from the top of the key and just driving to the middle of the paint, getting an offensive foul, I like to see that KAT. So on Monday, when we play the Houston Rockets, I'm looking towards to see what type of KAT is going to show up. Is he going to be Is he going to be the KAT from tonight? Is he going to be the KAT from Wednesday? Or are we going to have a little bit of a dud on Monday? So we'll see. But guys, that's it for today's video. I want to say thank you so much for checking it out. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about the Knicks' effort against the Detroit Pistons tonight. But like always, you know how I'm going to wrap up the video. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. The deuce is loose for co-MVP. Mikal Bridges for Defensive Player of the Year. Taj Gibson, even though you're not part of Nick, it's always Taj Gibson for president. And until next time, I'll check you guys out on the next video. Peace.